Mary Beth Harrison with Dallas Native Live, and today hope everyone brought some lunch or something happy, because we're not going to talk about anything happy today. We're talking about taxes. I mean, the only two things we can rely on in this life are taxes and death. I think we can all rest assured that those two things will happen whether we want them to or not, whether we agree with it or not. So today I'm talking about our property taxes. And typically we get a letter in the mail if you own property, whether it's investment property or your primary property. You get a letter from the taxing authority, whether it be Collin County, Denton County, Tarrant County, Dallas County, Rockwall County, wherever you live, you should be getting a letter from the Appraisal District. Well, I found it interesting this year that I didn't receive a letter, and it kind of occurred to me that if I haven't received a letter, you probably haven't either. And in talking to so many of my clients, I have found the same thing. They are not mailing out letters this year that advise you of your new appraised value for 2021. So the way this system works, oh, and by the way, before I forget, Candice is here watching our chat box. So if you all have any questions as I go through this, please go to the chat box, not question answer, but the chat box, and type in your questions and we'll stop and answer them. So before I forget and not say that. So typically you would get a letter saying that your new appraised value for 2021 is whatever. If it's your primary residence, they are only allowed to raise your property tax by 10% in any given year. And they don't reappraise, I guess is the right word, if that's even a word, the property every year. We have appraisal years, as I noticed on my statement. There are certain years. So last year, some of my properties were already appraised, so they didn't do anything about it this year. So they obviously have years that they appraise some properties or reevaluate some properties and not others. Not sure about that for everybody, but that seemed to be. But the main point here is there are no letters going out this year. So that doesn't mean that you don't have the right and the obligation to check and see what those taxes are going to be. So this time of year, they establish what your property value is and therefore what your taxable liability is. You don't pay this until December of 2021 or January, yet by January 30th of 2022 to pay that bill. But they do send out the notice of your value right now. And now is your only time to go fight that evaluation if you think it's not fair. So that's really the main point of this conversation today, is to help you with that. So if you haven't received a letter, you need to, it's not a matter of if you didn't receive it, it doesn't exist. Don't think that. It doesn't work that way. Just because you didn't get notified doesn't mean they didn't notify you. So you need to take it upon yourself and go to your county's appraisal district online. So go to your computer and either Google in Collin County Appraisal District or Tarrant County Appraisal District or Dallas County or whatever it is you need to do. But typically it is DallasCAD.org or CollinCAD.org. DentonCAD.org is typically what the website is. But in case you're having trouble finding it, just Google your county and the appraisal, and it will come up. So once you do that,
I just posted all the links.
Oh, thank you so much. Candice just posted in the chat box all the links that you all need to reach your particular appraisal district. So thank you for doing that. So once you go in, you go into property search and you type in your address and your property will pop up, or it'll pop up at the bottom and you click on it and your property will pop up. To the top left is many different things in kind of blue or in a different color in bold. Things like apply for homestead, et cetera. All those things are there, but also your tax appraisal for 2021 is at the top there. So you click on that and it will tell you what your appraised value is for 2021. If you think it's incorrect, don't we all think that it's too high? I can help you with that. So you can reach out to us at info@dallasnative.com, and Candice will post that as well.
And I've already posted the link to complete the form for that.
Perfect. And there will be a form there that you can put your name, your street address, and what your evaluation was. That's really important for me to know because I need to know what I'm fighting, right? I need to know what amounts have to be there. So I can provide you with comps for your specific neighborhood. And it's really important that you note that the appraisal boards are very, very specific about what they will use as comparable sales. And you can go back to January 1 of 2020 through the first quarter of 2021 to get your comparable sales. So if you're looking for it, you want to go back to 1/1/20 through 3/31/21, and those are the comparable sales that you can use. So what I'm looking for, among other things, are price per foot. Let's say they've got you appraised at $200 a square foot, and every house in the neighborhood sold for max $150 a foot or $175 a foot. Well, that's one way to go about fighting it for you. Another way to go about fighting it is simply in values, in price. So let's say they valued you at $350,000 for this coming year, and yet only 2 out of 11 sales sold for more than that price. So I just send you a printout of everything that's sold that substantiates your fight that your price is too high. Another really good suggestion is that you take photos, as I call it, horribilizing your house. So you want to take photos of peeling paint, old kitchen, appliances not upgraded, carpet versus hardwood floors, things like that. You want to take photos that back up your fight or your protest that says my house isn't worth what this house sold for. So this house had been updated, it's standing at attention, it's at 2021 standards, it's got the granite, it's got the wood floors, it's got the swimming pool, it's, you name it, it's got it. Yours, on the other hand, has original carpet, original appliances, whatever that is, so that it can let them know that your home was not in the same condition as this home was. And that's some of the things that I also highlight for you when I send you the comps that you need. So don't wait to get the letter this year, because I'm telling you, they don't seem to be coming. And the other thing, when I looked up my own personal home, not only is the letter not coming, but when I checked it, it said I had until May 17th to protest. Well, typically it was always May 30th, that we always had till the end of the month. Well, clearly that's not happening this year either. And so it's really important that you go online, you look for your appraisal, and then scroll down and read what the rules of the road are for your particular house. Maybe your evaluations have been out for 30 days already. That could be it, because you do usually have 30 days from the day you receive the notice to protest. Well, if we're not receiving the notice, 30 days is kind of up there in the sky, isn't it? Because I don't know what date they actually posted it online. So it's a little bit of a mess this year, but isn't everything a little bit of a mess this year? I think we've all learned to, what's that word? Adapt. I think we've all learned to just approach things a little differently this year, and probably better for it. At the end of the day, you know, we all need to be a little adaptable. And so this is one of those that certainly is turning into that. So again, a few things just to reiterate what I said so that you don't miss it. And those of you who came on late, I really need you to understand. First of all, do I have any questions, Candice, before I repeat what I said?
No, no questions right now.
Okay, okay, perfect. So to repeat what I said, one, we are apparently not receiving a letter from the appraisal district like we usually do every other year. And so it is incumbent on us as homeowners to go to our respective county appraisal districts and look and see what our new appraised value is for 2021. So as I explained earlier, they evaluate your house, the value of your home right now. However, this tax is not due until the end of 2021. So there's nothing due. There's no payment to be made. It's just to alert you to the fact that this is going to be your payment at the end of 2021. And of course, a lot of you escrow your taxes from your mortgage company, and just know that when they get the tax bill, they will be alerted to the fact that your tax went up. I'll address that in a second. So you're going to go to your county's appraisal district, whether it's Collin, Dallas, Rockwall, Denton, Tarrant, wherever you are, you're going to go to that county. So Collin, CAD.org, or Dallas, CAD.org, whatever, Rockwall, CAD.org, and you're going to go to your appraisal online and find your new evaluation for 2021. So be sure and get that done. And then if you are concerned that your value is too high, and they are, I mean, some of them are this year, but you know, I've got good news, bad news, and good news. I mean, the good news is your values have gone up. The bad news is your values have gone up, and the taxes therefore are going up as well. And the good news is your values are going up. So, you know, there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that that you have to take into account on this. We're all happy to see our values going up until it comes to this. And then we're not real happy about it going up. But I can help you fight that. So you're going to go to info@dallasnative.com, and Candice has posted all of this in the chat box, as well as your specific county information and how to reach out to them. But if you think that it's not a fair evaluation, just reach out to me. I'll do some research for you. We'll see if we can fight it. And if I can, I will. And if I can't, I can't. And you just need to be rest assured in the fact that your value is pretty fair. So, but I will give you everything that you need to send to the appraisal district to fight your taxes. That's the main thing. So, Candice, did we have...
We've got a lot of people on the call. Does anybody have any questions at all? Or are y'all just kind
just
of
go to the
listening
chat
to kind
box
of,
and put it in,
yeah.
or unmute yourself and ask, and then I'm going to go on to another conversation here, jumping into a whole other topic that has to do with taxes, but your escrows. Okay. All right. So most of you, or many of you, escrow your taxes, meaning that your house payment from your mortgage is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It includes all of that. And if you remember back when you closed, the lender took a couple of months of extra taxes and put them in your account, put them in your little checkbook that you have there, as the lender has waiting for you, because your taxes and insurance aren't due until basically your insurance a year from when you closed, and your taxes are due every year. Usually in December is when most of them pay them, so that you can take that deduction off of your income tax in that year. So most of us get them paid by the end of December, but you legally do have till the end of January to get them paid. All that being said, because our tax evaluations have gone up and are going up for this next year, your escrow is going to be short. So what that means is they collected X number of dollars from you based on this amount. So when you bought the home, or even last year, if you've been in your home for 5, 10, 15 years, they based your escrow on what they paid last year. Well, if it's gone up, then your escrow is short. So when they get ready to pay your taxes in December, they are pretty close, if not a little bit short of what they need to pay. Well, they don't catch all that until maybe, I don't know, January, February, March. Maybe by March, you'll get a letter from your lender going, your escrow has gone up. Your payment has now gone up. And they need to make up for the 3 months that they've already missed, January, February, March, for example. So now your payment's gone up to catch up those 3 months plus the remaining 9 months that are left of the year, right? And so you need to be aware, if your taxes have gone up, you might want to start putting a little bit of money away in a savings account or somewhere to add to your tax account when that happens, so that you're not surprised and you're not shocked that your payment went up enormously or even a little bit. I mean, for some of us, our payment going up even a little bit is a hardship. So it really is a big package of it's so important that you go check on this, guys, that you go find out what your tax evaluation is going to be for 2021. Is it dramatically different than it was for 2020? And if so, start stocking away a little bit of money. Or when you make your payment each month, you pay principal and interest, and then you pay your escrows, right? There's 2 different line items there. Maybe you start adding a little bit more money to that escrow account each month now for the remainder of the year to catch up, so that you're not shocked, or, you know, that things don't come up and big surprise come next year that your payment's gone up so dramatically. So a few things for you to be working on right now. And this is an important time of year for all of us homeowners to be prepared and not be shocked. And because none of us like that. The only surprise I want is in some little tiny box and it's shiny and it's, you know, that's probably about the only surprise I want. I certainly don't want a surprise from my government telling me that not only has my taxes gone up, but now my payment's gone up as well. So I hope that I've made all that very clear, because it's a big deal this year, especially, like I said, when we didn't get the letters. That was my first clue that something was greatly wrong. And for that matter, Dallas changed their website from DCAD to Dallas CAD. So they changed their website as well, which probably didn't help the situation either. So I think they're just working against us this year. So taxes, like I said, you know, taxes and death are about the only 2 things we can count on in this world. And thankfully, we're all healthy and we live in houses, and it's a good problem to have. It's just one that we need to be really aware of and exercise our right to protest whatever value they've given you, if in fact you think your value is too high. Another important thing, if you bought a house in 2020, and let's say you paid $300,000 for the house, and your tax evaluation is $325,000, $350,000, $310,000, it doesn't matter. It's more than what you paid. They cannot charge you more than what you paid. It would be like going to the grocery store and buying a loaf of bread for $1 and they charged you tax on $2. They can't charge you more than what you bought the piece of bread for, right? It's the same thing with your house. So all you would need to do if you bought a house in 2020 to fight your tax evaluation would be to upload, and all of this can be done online now, guys. You do not have to go in person if you don't choose to. All of this gets uploaded on your computer and sent off. It's all real easy to do if you want to work that way. But that being said, all you would need to provide is your closing statement showing that you only paid $300,000 for this house, and they can't be charging you more than what you paid. So that's another way to go fight your taxes if in fact you bought your home in 2020. So hopefully I've covered it. I don't see questions coming in, so hopefully I've been really clear about what I've talked about today. It is so important. And
we have a hand. Crystal,
okay.
I just unmuted you so you can ask the question.
Hey, Crystal. No, she's still muted. I can see down on the screen she's still muted.
Yeah, there she goes.
Oh,
Go ahead, Crystal. Oh, and now she's muted again.
Yeah.
All right, you may have to type in your question, sorry, unless you can unmute yourself and stay unmuted. There you go.
Okay. I can't remember what is the percentage they are allowed to put our taxes up a year.
If it is your primary residence, Crystal, it is my understanding they can only raise it 10% per year. But let's say you own investment property, say you have some rental property, there is no ceiling on that.
Okay.
They can raise that as much as they want to. It's only your primary property and the one that you have filed homestead exemption on. That's also important. And I didn't even discuss that, but if you haven't filed homestead exemption, you need to do that immediately. If this is your primary residence and you were living in it on January 1st of 2021, you should be filing homestead. And even if you were living there in 2019 and you never did it, you can do that right now. Go file your homestead exemption, and sometimes they'll back it up a year and give you that advantage. Does that answer your question, Crystal?
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Uh-huh,
When
you're
are you
welcome.
doing a legal class again?
What was that?
When are you doing a contracts class again?
June
Contract
something.
class.
Yeah, June something. June.
Hold on just a minute. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be too late for me. I need to do it now.
Oh, yeah. No, my next one's not until June.
Yeah, it isn't until June.
Yeah, we just taught 2 in a row because of the new contract. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Bye.
Do I have any other questions on what we've talked about as far as the your taxes, protesting your taxes? And again, just contact us. And there's a form that Candice put in the chat box. Just click on that form, fill it out, because it gives me all the information I need to help you. And I'll let you know if I can, or if I can, I'll certainly get back to you pretty quickly here. So, and if you might want to add on there for us is when it said you need to be, when your protest has to be in, because like I said, mine read May 17th, which was surprising. I didn't see that coming because up till now, it's always been May 30th, always.
Olga has got a question. Hold on just a minute. Olga, I just clicked the button to allow you to talk.
She's muted again.
Okay, hi.
Hi,
My
Olga.
question, hi. So I was just looking at the appraisal form for 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and I also pulled my mother-in-law's, and I was just noticing on hers, it says the percentage difference between the 2016 appraised value of 194,531 and the proposed 2021 appraisal value is an increase of 46.89% over a 5-year period. So
I
can
saw
you
that.
protest all the way back?
No, I saw that too. I've never seen that before. And I thought it was interesting that they even gave that statistic, because who cares? I mean,
Okay.
all I care about is what's happening right now. I thought it was interesting that they, yeah, I'm not really sure why they even gave me that information, but I saw that too, Olga.
Okay.
That,
So
yeah.
you can only protest if it went up from last year to this year.
That's my understanding. Exactly.
Okay.
That is my understanding. You can only protest for the current year.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions out there? Because I don't have a
Good. No
whole
more
lot, pretty
hands are
short,
raised.
sweet, and to the point. But
Yeah.
like I said, yeah, I don't want y'all to miss this opportunity. And as a homeowner, it is your opportunity. It's your right, and you don't want to give that up. Yeah, Candice.
Caesar, I'm just clicking the button now for you to talk.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
Yes,
Caesar.
I have a question. I received several flyers about protesting.
Yes.
I was just curious if you guys have any input on that. I received one called protestevidence.com.
Yeah, there are a lot of companies out there. I think I've received 3 or 4 as well. It's something you can do yourself. You have every right to do that. If you're not comfortable doing it or don't feel like you can get the information that you need to do it, you can certainly engage one of those companies, I'd certainly do some research first before I chose one, see if anyone else has used anybody. I've always just fought my own taxes. I've always gone down to the appraisal district and fought my own taxes. So because I have both my primary house and then I have some rental property. So
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
just
the reason I asked, sorry, is because I have done that as well. But last year, or the last 2 years, I've had a hard time with them really budging much. Even though I had, pictures and I had the comps, they just, I even went through the review board and they just would not budge. And so I've used O'Connor, and they've seemed to have saved me some money, even though they charge you half of whatever they save you.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I was asking, because maybe they have better luck or better knowledge on what they're using. Maybe
I don't know, Caesar. I've been really successful with my clients. I mean, every year I do. I don't know, Candice, how many of these? A lot.
A lot.
20, 30 plus.
I think we did almost over 50 last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
and of those 50, I think at least a half to 3/4 of them got their taxes lowered. I think the catch, Caesar, is you have got to walk in, and this is a good point for everyone listening. You have got to have an answer to the question of what do you think it's worth. If you walk in there and just rely on them to give it to you, I think that's when you're in trouble. But when you walk in with a fair, operative word, fair value for your house based on the solds for the last year, then I think they're willing to listen to you. When you come in with some ridiculous, I want my property value to be 200,000 when nothing in the neighborhood is sold that low in a year, I think that's what's difficult, is when you don't go in with a fair market value for your home. But you do have to do that, guys. You have to put that in a line item for your protest. Is I think the house should be priced at whatever.
Okay, thank you.
It's a good question. Thank you.
All right, we've got another question. Ricardo, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to talk, okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we
hi,
can.
Ricardo. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. I'm aware of the fact of the 10% because of the changes in the legislature a couple of years ago.
Right.
However, I'm a little bit confused here. My property was valued last year at $605,000.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it's valued at $700,603. I estimate that to be a increase of 15.8%.
Yeah.
Is that possible, or is it because they revalue the buildings? I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, I am too. I would probably
I live
be.
in Collin County.
You're in Collin County?
Yes.
That might be worth a phone call to them. When you read when you went into Collin County Appraisal District, did it say on the explanation that it could only go up so much per year? Did it say that to you? I mean, was it written?
Well, I'm reading the notice of appraised value I got in the mail.
Okay, I'm good. I'm glad to hear you got it in the mail. You're the first one I've heard that from.
Oh, really? I got it last week.
Yep, you are. You're the first one I've heard that from. Everyone else I've talked to, none of them have received anything in the mail, and I sure haven't.
So, how do they get around that to 15.8?
I don't know. You're going to have to make a call to them and ask that, because Collin may have a different tax law than Dallas does, but Dallas only allows 10%. Do you have a homestead exemption on your house?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have to ask them that question. I don't have an answer to that. That's a great question. I don't know. My understanding was the 10% rule, when I think it was Olga who said her mom's, when it said from 2016 to 2000 now, it went up how much percentage. I think there's a percentage over so many years it can go up, like 30% over a period of time. There's rules to the road, and you can read all that in your appraisal in your website. It'll tell you all that. So I think maybe that's why they're telling us the amount from this period to this period. Maybe that's why they're mentioning it, because it can only go up, it can go up so much over a period of time. So yeah, Ricardo, you're gonna have to make a phone call and ask them about that, because that doesn't seem right.
All right, yeah, I have both the residents and the over 65.
Then my understanding of that is that it freezes, cuts your taxes in half and freezes them. Not your school taxes, but your city taxes freezes them. So yeah, I'd be making a phone call on that one.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions about this?
Don't see any more hands raised.
All right, so I've pretty much covered this today, guys. It was gonna be a pretty short live, Facebook Live, because the information's pretty succinct. So if you have not received your letter, go online and check on your property. So go to your appraisal district in your county and check and see what your appraised value is for 2021, because it definitely should be in your hands by now. And make sure you know your deadline from when to protest. And if we can help you with that, you can go to the chat box and follow along with what Candice has put in there today, both your appraisal district websites as well as our email. If I can help you with your protest, be more than happy to do that. So thanks so much for listening, and good luck on your taxes. I hope yours are low. That's all I can say. I wish you all low taxes. Thanks. Bye.